welcome back to another tutorial. This week I'm going to paint something a little different. How would I put it? It's just kind of it's something that I've wanted to try for a very long time and I don't know why, but for some reason today I just felt kind of compelled to paint this scene. I don't know why. Something just came over me. I don't know, something just said, look, paint this today. It's been in my phone for a very, very long time. I tell you what it's not, it's a kind of a forest fire scene. It's a scene from a forest fire in Australia, I think it was, when they had very bad forest fires back last year, I think it was. There's something about this scene. It says so much, and I wanted to paint it for so long. I just never kind of had the feeling to paint it. Do you ever get like that? So I just woke up this morning and I was kind of thinking about something to paint for a tutorial, and this just kind of popped up on my screen as I was going through my gallery. So I think I'm just going to paint it. I think it'll be a really nice tutorial to paint, and it'll really kind of, I suppose it's really to sort of commemorate the men and women who risked their lives to save people and to save the planet even. So I just thought it would be a nice tutorial. I think I'll do it. I've been putting it off for a very long time, but I don't know, something just came over me this morning. It's like someone was telling me, paint this scene. So I'm going to paint it. So I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know I'm a little late this week with tutorials because I'm very, very busy working and all that kind of stuff and trying to catch up on paintings and commissions. So I'm very busy, very, very, very busy. More Zoom lessons coming very soon, alright? The next couple of days I might try and get one done. We did a lovely one a couple of days ago of a robin redbreast. We had so much fun. It was great fun. It's amazing getting 4 or 5 people from all over different parts of the world together at the same time. It's just brilliant. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, look, let's crack on with this. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a nice one. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and do subscribe, alright? You're missing so much. And again, thank you so much for all your support, and indeed my patrons. Thank you so much. I have a nice Patreon tutorial coming very soon as well. If you want to pop over and take a look at Patreon, you can just support me there if you like, see what's there. So thank you and enjoy this. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. There's the photograph. Now, it's a very prominent kind of a photograph, isn't it? It just says so much to you and, well, to me. It just says so much, I think. And, you know, I think it'll be a lot of fun getting all these lovely smoky effects and getting that bright yellow flame then afterwards. So let's have a bit of fun with it, okay? Now, I don't think we need any drawing in this. So I have a 16 by 12 canvas. I didn't prime it because I want that dryness in the canvas so I can get smoky effects without the canvas being too wet. So the paint will kind of dry in very quickly. Not completely dry obviously, but it'll kind of soak through and it'll give me lots of dry spots to create lovely mist and smoke and all that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Excuse me. My colours. I have titanium white, cadmium red, naples yellow, cadmium yellow, a little lamp black, no, that's burnt umber and black, a little burnt sienna. I don't think we need burnt sienna actually. There is one more colour I'm going to take out, and that is a tiny amount of, let me find it, blue. A tiny amount of dark blue, like a phaylo blue or an ultramarine blue. So any dark blue that you have, just tiny amount, look. Now, let's start on this. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to try it. Now, you can see up at the top we have lots of lights and darks, okay? I'm going to start putting in a very light, well, it's not light, it's like a dark grey blue kind of a colour here and there, alright? So I'm going to start with that. Now I'm going to take my large stubby brush, the one I taped up. You see, it's fine. I put tape around this a couple of weeks ago. It was just getting a little loose because I knocked it or I banged it against something, but it's fine, okay? Small stubby brush, large stubby brush rather, and I'm going to dampen it with some turpentine. Just a little, or you can see everything okay, you can. Right, a damp brush. I'm going to take a little phaylo blue. I'm going to take plenty of black and a hint of white, okay? I don't want it too bright. I want this to be very dark kind of a scene. It is a very dark scene anyway, but I want that yellow to really kind of jump out on the painting. So I'm going to go quite dark with this. So let me just take a look at this. Okay. I think it needs a hint of red. Tiny, tiny hint. Just the tiniest little hint. A bit more blue. I'm going for a dark blue, but a warm kind of a colour. Do you understand what I mean by that? Now that canvas is really, really dry. Really. I didn't realise how dry the canvas actually was. But it's really, really dry. I may have to dampen it slightly, folks. I may have to dampen it slightly. I'm going to try a little linseed oil, okay? Just because this will be a pain in my backside now, trying to paint this with that really dry canvas. I wanted it a little bit on the dry side, but I don't want it completely dry all around. You know, really, really dry. I want the paint to kind of be able to move around a little bit as well, so I'm just going to pop a tiny amount of oil in just here and there. Some of these cheaper canvases do are very, very dry, I think. You know, it's just, they're just made with very cheap primers. Now, let's see, that might help. Okay, let's take some turpentine, some white, some black, some phaylo blue, and a tiny amount of red. It's a bit better. That's a little better. Only a little. So let's take some more of this. Now I'm taking plenty of turpentine in this, okay? I'm going to make it nice and thin because I could be here all day with this canvas. It's so, so dry. I'm just going to mix up a lot of this. So some blue, some black, a little hint of red. And I have a bit over here as well, some of that colour. I'll go up there. Let me see now, down to around there. I will lighten it slightly around here, look. There's a lighter patch in there, isn't there? I'm just going to pop some of that lighter colour in there. Like that. Okay, just dampen my brush again. I'm going to go over here, pick up a tiny amount of white, and I'm going to just pop a little bit of white in there. Now, the technique I'm going to use for this is little circles, look. Small, small little circles. And soften it through here and there. That's the technique I'm going to use. And I'll come around here and I'll pop a little bit in there. It still may be a little bit bright, but that's fine, don't worry. I just want to soften it all together, create these lovely smoky kind of effects, okay? Now I'm taking some white on its own, pop some white in there, like that. And I may take a hint of cadmium red in that, and I might take a hint of white. And I might pop a hint of that colour through just around here, look. I can see bits of that colour, pinkish colour, popping through here and there. Now, I'm just going to keep this simple, alright? I don't want to go to any extreme lengths of detail with this. But I want a very dramatic painting as well. I do want a dramatic painting. Now, I'm going to leave that and start moving on to some of the darker colours, okay? So let me dampen my brush again. I didn't clean it. Let's pick up some, let me see. First anyway, we have burnt umber. I can see burnt umber immediately. And we have a little cadmium red and some black. So let me just try first with that colour. Okay, I'm happy enough to go with that for now. Let me just fill this area in. And we can then work some thicker paint on top of this, alright? There we go. I'm going to soften it through, creating that smoky effect again, look. There we go. And you can see the canvas, it's very completely dry out. Look at that, it's soaked right through the canvas already. It's like paper. That's why I prime my canvases when I get them. Even if it's an expensive canvas, I will still prime it, because they are some of the canvases are just really too dry, far too dry. They just don't use good quality primers on some of those canvases, which is not good for painting, for obvious reasons. This feels more like a sort of acrylic type of a painting for me now, because it's almost completely dry already, the paint. It's just not good. Let me take some black. I'll pop some black in over here. I might start moving then to my medium brush to get some nice smoky effects. Now, I'm just going to walk away with this, okay, for now. Just see how we go. Yeah, I'm going to move to a smaller brush. I will take this kind of a brush, a nice small medium brush. I have a medium stubby here actually somewhere. It might be just perfect for this. Let me have a look. There we go. Now, I have this medium stubby. This might do just the job. It'll be just what we need. It could save us. Now, let the medium stubby save us. I'll dampen that. Go into some black and a hint of blue. And now it's very dark around here. You see this? Very dark, very black. Pick up a bit of brown. Now what I'm going to do is put a hint of white into that, okay? And I'm going to kind of soften this grey through here and there, look. Just to create the effect of this black smoke dissipating. Is that what you would say? It's kind of dissipating outwards here and there into that lighter colour, look. So we don't want hard edges for this, okay? We want nice soft edges for this. Up there. Now the problem is I'm having to make this quite wet just in order for it to move around, because as I said, the canvas is so dry. But I'm using just the tip of the brush to sort of feather this out, make it sort of disappear as it comes up. Okay, you see what I mean? Does that kind of make sense? And let's do the same over here. Let's take a hint more of the brown actually. You can see a hint more of the brown coming up here. And I come up there then and soften it out here and there as well. So no hard lines, okay? That's the secret, I would say. No hard edges. Nice soft smoky edges. Little circles. I'm not covering everything. I do want to leave some. Okay, that's not half bad now so far, is it? That's a nice smoky kind of area. I'll put a bit of dark over here, just a hint, just a smidgen, just a tiny amount through here and there on this corner, look. And I'll soften it out. I'm sort of I'm almost just allowing the brush to kind of dance around on the canvas, do you know what I mean? And let's do the same here, look, just get rid of some of those hard edges. And the canvas is helping me now because the canvas is really dry, so it's not blending too much. Does that make sense? And we're still leaving some of that light area behind then, you see. Now let's come right down and get some nice darks in, warm colours in around the middle here. Let's take some burnt umber, and I perhaps try a hint of burnt sienna with red. So it's a kind of a warm, it's a tricky kind of it's a tricky colour to kind of explain. We take more red, a hint of white, okay? There's almost a hint of a kind of a pinkyish colour going through there, see it? Isn't that wonderful? Just going to pop that in just here and there. And I might come over then, maybe take a hint of Naples yellow, just to make it a little lighter over at the back here. Just going to soften it. I'm hardly touching the canvas, okay? I'm only using the very tip of my brush. just to kind of allow it to pop in just here and there, you see. I'm not kind of, I'm not forcing loads of paint onto the canvas. So just a hint. Now to complement all this pink, I might pop a tiny amount of it just around here perhaps. Look, just the tiniest amount. So now that's going to help in the composition, is bringing that colour across the canvas, you see. Now let's go nice and dark. We have some nice rich burnt umber. I'm going to say burnt umber in around here. Okay, like that. So we've kind of a mix of burnt umber with black almost, isn't it? It's sort of a mix of the two colours popping up kind of here and there. We'll start, now let's just go into some black, and this is almost just paint on its own, okay? And I pop some of that in there. Now that's nice and dark there, look at that. It's a nice dark colour now. Now we're getting somewhere. I was struggling with that canvas there just at the beginning, but as time goes on then you just kind of, you start feeling it, you know what I mean? You get the feel for it, and you know, it just kind of works out. So let me just more of that in there. Nice and soft. Let's take some more burnt umber with a hint of the red. Some of that over here. So now I'm putting on thicker paint, and it's allowing me to make it more kind of splotchy, if you know what I mean. I do want to get these colours just right here, because that's a lovely colour right there. We've some bright pinks coming down here. What I might do is take a hint of red and pop a hint of red in just here and there on that. And I might take a hint more of the brown and go up over here a little bit more with that. And I'll take some black again and go right in here with some black on its own. I think it needs a lot of black just around there. And I think it needs a lot of black around here too. Just to really get the silhouette of that black smoke coming up here. Okay, soften it away then. Now how's that looking so far? Not bad, is it? Right, I'm going to dampen this brush. I'm going to take off some of that dark colour and then leave it wet. Now it's not spotless, but it's kind of nice and wet, okay? And I'm going to go into some burnt sienna, lots of colour here now, and a little of the cadmium red, and a hint of burnt umber, okay? And I want to start bringing some nice warm colours down the canvas, alright? Now it's really drying in on me so quick. So now what I might do actually, just to help myself out, I'm going to take a little rough soft brush, okay? I'm going to dampen the canvas with that. I'm going to take loads of turpentine and dampen the canvas with that. That might help. Just when I'm filling in areas, I think it just needs that little bit of help on the canvas. Because it's really dry around there. Now, in fact, I'll switch to my large brush, okay? My large stubby. Let's get this colour. Let's get lots of burnt umber. I just want to fill this whole area here in with lots of burnt umber and a hint of black, okay? And a hint of cadmium red. I've all blacked out around the bottom, so I'm not worried about that too much. I'm going to go with more burnt sienna and some cadmium red and plenty of thinners again, and let's get that lovely rich red colour up here. Beautiful scene, isn't it? I mean, I know it's a very violent kind of a scene, but that fireman just kind of walking there, I think it just said so much. It almost kind of depicts a sense of despair, bravery, You know, there's so much going on at the same time. I think it's just fabulous, it really is. And I think we don't give firefighters enough credit for the work they do. I wouldn't walk into a fire like that. And the way he just seems so kind of calm and collected, just strolling along, just walking along, and there's red hot flames right next to him. It takes a lot of bravery, doesn't it? Now, let me take a hint of yellow. Don't be careful now with the yellow, because I don't want any greens around here. Right, now, let's have a look at our next step. I think I'll darken all this in first down here, yes? I need some burnt umber. Burnt umber, where are you? There you are. So lots of burnt umber up there. And let's take lots of burnt umber and black, okay? And lots of turpentine. Lots and lots and lots of turpentine. Well, you may not need as much turpentine as me. Your canvas is probably nowhere near as dry as mine, but for me, I need lots of turpentine in this because it's just completely soaking into that dry canvas. The canvas is just like a sheet of paper. Some of these cheap canvases are really, really bad. You know, I buy cheaper canvases just for tutorials and I prime them. Now, I didn't prime this one because I was thinking, you know, I could use the dryness to help me, but it's just really, really dry. It's so dry. Now I'm going to go up here with this and just cover that in. Cover all this in. Let's get this canvas covered. And I'm going to come up here with that. Just like that. Take a bit of that blue as well, actually. The blue will cool it down slightly. So, now we have the basic kind of colouring done on the painting. It looks, now I know right now it looks like a big mess, but I promise it will come together slowly. I'm just blocking in colours here, that's all I'm doing. I'm going to take some black on its own and I'm going to just create the impression of one or two kind of trees and stuff like that just around here, and then I'm going to go right up with this very dark colour. I'm going to take a hint of red actually as well. So I'm just basically putting layers upon layers here now, you see. I want this really, really black here, going right up. And really black right at the bottom as well. That's a bit better, isn't it? It's a bit more pronounced, stands out a bit more. I'll soften it more as it comes up, so it's almost, you can see it kind of dispersing as it comes up. Okay, now how was that? We can put lots more on this as well, don't worry. And I'm going to take more burnt umber for over here. I'm going to start popping some burnt umber through. Actually, burnt umber with cadmium red and a hint of Naples yellow. And that nice sort of pinky brown colour I'm going to put in over here, look. You can see it there just in the background, kind of creeping through here and there. I'm going to put a bit of that around here. Let me take a little Naples yellow actually, with some cadmium red. And I'm going to pop some of that pink through here, look. And then I'm going to start lightening some of these areas. I'm going to clean my brush now. Because I have lots of brown in this brush, I'm going to just give it a good clean, okay? And I'm going to start using the yellow, cadmium yellow. Get some nice effects with that. So now we're going to start creating some of this kind of light and the fire and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be great fun. I'll dampen my brush. I'm going to take some cadmium yellow, cadmium red, and with just that colour on its own, now I'm going to start adding this lovely warm colour. Now, because I don't want too much yellow in the brush because it'll mix with this and start going green, so I'm going to go more on the red kind of side of orange. Go up here a little bit into that. I need more cadmium red because that's gone. Okay. It's starting to take a little bit of shape now. Just a little, but it's kind of, you know, it's coming together nicely. Let's get some of this red, sort of blend that through here. You notice the way when I'm putting the colour on, I'm not blending it completely, so I'm leaving some of the brush strokes there as well. I'm not just covering them completely, softening them in completely. Now we have a lot of yellow. Look at that. Let's put that in there. Look. See, I'm just being very dramatic now with the brush. I'm sort of letting it dance. I suppose with fire, it's a very random kind of a thing, isn't it? Fire itself is a very random kind of a thing. It just goes where it wants, doesn't it? You can't really tell or predict where which way the flames are going to blow. It's just very random. So let's just try to make it as random as we can. Bit more red into that. Again, I don't want it mixing with that black too much and going kind of an orangey colour. We could soften it in like that. I don't want any greens, that's what I meant to say. Okay, here like that, pop a little bit in there. The orangey colour along. Alright, let's take some cadmium yellow, a little bit of Naples yellow, and I'm going to put some of that in as well. Very bright kind of a colour, and create some smoky scenes with this. Again, I'm not going to mix it too much into that blacky kind of colour because it will start going green, so I'm being very careful with that. Now, let's go down here and pop some of that through like that. Okay, again, I'm trying to suggest the wind kind of pulling the flame upwards. Does that make sense? A little bit of yellow on its own. Very sort of rough down here on the floor, isn't it? So I'm just kind of dabbing and dragging the brush, I suppose. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay. Now, some more of this light pink, which I really love. It's a lovely colour there. That softens up. Bring it across a little bit more over here. So you see, it's picking up colours on the canvas and just kind of messing around with different colours, isn't it? It's all kind of just very spontaneous. I love this kind of painting. It's really spontaneous, and you know, you can really do a lot of different. It's very good actually for loosening up. This type of a painting I think is probably fantastic now for those of you who just want to loosen up your brush strokes a bit and just have a bit of fun on the canvas. It's probably perfect for that. So let me see now how we're going. I might just do a bit of work on this side here. Just want to get some nice rich oranges in over here. That's better now, isn't it? Nice oranges. Soften them through. Okay, going up like that. Alright, and let's take a bit more red. There's not much kind of red in it as such, it's more of a very deep orange, isn't it? Okay, little circles. Let's bring a couple up here. Let's go a little bit higher here, just slightly, yeah? Just a little. And bring a few of those over here. Like that. Now, clean the brush again, just give it a wipe on some tissue and then pick up some of this yellow. And let's pop some of this yellow in here. Just trying to kind of create the swirling effect of the flames. Let's take some Naples yellow as well. Let's get some real bright effects down here. Lots of thick paint on the end of your brush, and just, you know, go and have a bit of fun with it. Look, just let the paint dance around on the canvas. Okay, let's take a bit more of that, pop it in there. I noticed kind of in the painting, or in the photograph, around all the orange there's kind of, all this bright yellow, there's a kind of a hint of a warm, reddy kind of a colour, just around the edges of it. Very strange. It's like, it's just, I suppose, the effect of the flames coming up. But yeah, it just has that very kind of warm colour just around the edges of some of the flames. So I might try and get some of that in a moment. Let's get some darker colour, dot some darker colour around here and there. It's very, very rough around here, isn't it? Now, I'm just going to sit back for a moment and take a look at this. Okay, I just need to, it's good to sit back and just gauge how you're going and where you want to change things. I might soften some of this into the black up there, just a little. I might soften this through very gently as well. I just want to, again, you know, I'm trying to create that kind of misty, smoky kind of look here and there. I don't want too much kind of broad brush strokes in this. I can come back and add more if I want, but for now I just want a kind of a soft effect. You know what I mean? It's kind of difficult to describe. I'm going to take a small pointy brush, alright? Let me just dampen it, just get it nice and clean. And I'm going to take some red and a hint of yellow. And I'm going to just pop touches of that around. Okay, just here and there, you see? And I think it just kind of helps, to sort of brings the flame to life, doesn't it? Let's go up here now and pop a little bit around here. Soften it through. And I clean the brush then, and I'm going to go back into some bright yellow and perhaps a hint of white as well, okay? So a very bright white yellow this time. And I'm going to just put that just sort of along right in the centres where it's really, really bright and really fiery. Okay, so like here, for example. You can use a bigger brush for this if you like. But I'm happy enough to just stick with this for now. Okay, let's get some more. Put some more here. It's a lot of fun painting like this, isn't it? It's just a real free kind of a style. It just lets you have a bit of fun without being too conserved or reserved with your brush. I suppose that's the word we're looking for, isn't it? Reserved. Okay, let's go up here, look, and pop lots of that in. There. Let's pick up some more, put a dab of it here and there. And now, because the canvas is really dry, now I can really get the effects that I wanted. So I can put in lots of thick paint and it's not going to soften through too much, you see. It's nice and sticky. The canvas now is nice and sticky. It's not completely dry, but it's nice and sticky, so I can pop little chunks of paint on and I know it's not going to soften through too much. Now you can just soften it through with your finger. Look, just dab it around here. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to pop some more of this lovely mist in around the centre. I'm going to take some white, take a hint of cadmium red. I don't want it too bright, but I'm just going to pop that in here as if the fire officer is starting to douse the flames here, you see, and it's getting nice and misty. That nice kind of a pink glowy kind of a mist on the floor just there. I think that's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Now let's mix some more. Let's get some cadmium red, a bit of white, and this will mix now with the colours you see we have underneath. So now we're getting some really nice pinks and warm yellows there, aren't we? You see, it's really wonderful, isn't it? So let's put some of this up here. I think it needs some up here, don't it? And this is then pushing that black back again. So we're creating a little bit of distance. And we're creating different layers as well. Isn't that lovely? Okay, I'm just kind of looking now just to make sure I have it as I need. I'll just have it right before I move on and start covering lots of this. Let me just double check now. I'm going to take a knife, okay, palette knife, and I'm going to put some of that yellow and some of that white, and I'm going to just add some of that to the fire. I need some more yellow. Let me grab some yellow. I don't think it's turning out too badly so far. I'm happy enough now with this, I must say. Let me just get some here. Look, lots of thick paint. So you can see now with the palette knife and or dry canvas, we can really create some nice rough techniques, can't we? Let's put more in here. I think it needs more just around here, doesn't it? Like that. And let's take some more yellow and a hint of white again, and come down here. Now, how is that coming on? Isn't that lovely? So it's directing into the center of the painting, isn't it? And it's going up into this funnel of smoke. Now, another thing I'm going to do is take some cadmium red and a hint of yellow, and I'm going to just warm that slightly just here, okay? And up here. Now, that's a bit better. And then I'm just going to simply take some white and pop a little white in here and there, look, because that will really give you the sense of the glow in the center of the fire. Now I think I'm going to leave it at that. I may actually just put a hint of it just across here, just another little bit, just to sort of balance it out, so it's not just one piece on either side. So I'll just pop a little bit of it through just here, just to suggest it working its way up the ground, okay? Yeah, just like that, that's fine. I think that's all it needs. And drag it up, look. Now, I'm going to suggest some dark stuff around here. Let's take lots of thinners with some black. And I'm going to suggest a post. Okay, and let's say a wire, and let's suggest some grass and all that kind of stuff going on. Take another post, we put another post through here, let's say. And a bit of a wire hanging down. Take a bit of burnt umber, I think, because that black seems a little bit cold, doesn't it? It just seems a little bit on the cold side. I'm going to create some rough kind of area down here. Alright, so you can see then we have lots of things going on. Let's create some uprights as if we have some timbers off in the distance, kind of burnt, just the way they just kind of stand there when they're burnt, almost about to fall. Okay, just creating a little bit of, you know, a little bit of atmosphere. Create another one off in the distance here. Drag it down. Look, soften it through. Give it just little hints of detail, as if, you know, there's bits and pieces around. It's a forest fire, you know what I mean? There's going to be lots of things lying around the place. And we could even give them hints of a bit of red here and there, you see? So there's little pieces still kind of smouldering. Alright, I'm going to take a bigger brush. In fact, I'll go with a fan brush. I'm going to try a fan brush. I'm going to take lots of turpentine and lots of this dark colour here, and let's just fill this in. Right, I need more black. I'm going to get loads of black here now for this. And let's take my large stubby and some brown, black and brown, and I'm just going to start giving this some shape, okay? I'm going to soften it through, look, as well. So you see now how fast we created this beautiful painting. Really kind of eye-catching with all the colours, isn't it? It really is, I must say. I'm glad now I took it on in the end, because I was a little worried, a little sceptical of it, you know. But I'm very happy now that I did choose to do it. I think if anything, just to commemorate the bravery of firefighters. You know, I think we tend to forget about those people from time to time, and I think we should remember them. Okay, let's soften some of that through like that. Now, take a small brush. I'm going to pop little touches of that nice orangey colour. Just a little through here and there. Just to suggest fire, just little bits of fire here and there, okay? And drag it up then, okay? Just sort of mess around with it. Okay, now how is this looking so far? I'm just going to pop a highlight or two onto some of these, just like one or two just here on the post. Okay, that'll do. Now, so I'm going to put the fireman in now right in the centre here, where that nice light pink area is. Wouldn't that look lovely? I may actually soften this up a little bit more, look. Perhaps a little bit over here. So you can see almost that draft being pulled up. Now, the fireman. I was going to initially do them in all dark colour. I might do them in just a dark colour to begin with and then add just a little couple of highlights here and there. I think that might be the best thing to do for this painting. If I try and put in yellows and stuff like that, it's going to be not tricky or messy, but I think a silhouette first would look much nicer. Let's just put the leg in here. Okay, let's just fill it in just like this first, okay? And then come straight up like that. Okay, then it's come down like that, doesn't it? No, let's just fill that in first. Okay. Alright, one like that. And then it comes out like that. And then let's just pop in the head with the hat. So let's just go down like that. I was never one for painting people and stuff like that. I'm just not very good, and I'd be the first to admit that I'm not very good at painting figures of people. I just never was, you know. It's just something that I was never good at. Landscapes, fine, no problem. I enjoy landscapes, but painting figures and people like that, I'm just not good at it, and I tend to stay away from things that I'm not good at, if that makes sense. So let me just start adding a few highlights, okay, and let's see what we can get. Right, a little bit of yellow. Pop a little bit of yellow on top of his hat. A bit around like that, okay. Take a bit of yellow, perhaps a hint of black to make sort of an almost kind of a green colour. Like so. And then I'm just going to kind of suggest some subtle highlights just here and there, just to give the impression that it's a person walking through this fire, okay? Now, put a bit of light up there. Okay, we're getting there. It's pretty dark just down at the bottom, isn't it? But let's just suggest a little highlight, just here and there. Okay. Now, take some black, and I'm going to just darken some areas. Okay, let me just have a look here now. I'm not sure about that actually. No, I think I'll put something like a walking stick or something around there. So let me just lighten that now just a little bit. Lighten it out. Didn't like that. So let's just add a bit of pink around it. And some kind of a stick or something, you know what I mean? So let's just go like that. I'll widen the leg here just a little. And let me see now, let's just imagine he's holding some kind of a stick or something. Okay, something with some kind of a claw or something like that, putting out fires. There, I think that's better. Now, little touch of, I don't have any blue left, I'm trying to put a very bright colour just up here. Just like that. Now, I think we should just leave it at that. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's nice. Might give his hat a bit more colour. Because he's a fireman after all, and he should be seen, shouldn't he? And perhaps give touch of red on his back just to suggest the bag he's carrying. So how is this looking now? I mean, that's not bad at all, is it? I think that's quite nice. Little touches of just a few details here and there. And I'm fairly happy with that. I think I'll just darken some of them just here and there. And I think it's a nice simple scene, and it says a lot, doesn't it? I'm happy with that. You could add some suggestions of trees and stuff. Let's put a suggestion of actually a couple of little branches up here, so as if they're popping up out of the flames. Okay? So let's just give a little impression of some trees kind of in the distance, but they're being consumed. Does that make sense? I like that, that's nice. And with that, I'm going to sign. I think this has been a lovely success. And let me just sign this now, S. Conway. And a tribute to all the firefighters out there who risk your lives. Now let me zoom in and give you a look at this. I may darken this now a bit more, give it more black, if you know what I mean. In fact, let's try it now. Look, let's just take a bit of black and just pop it out there, look, and soften it out. Just to give real nice dark sides on it, okay? And I think that, my friends, I think that's wonderful. I have a frame, I have a frame over on the other side of my studio. I'll do it another time. Let me just zoom in and show you what we have created. Isn't that wonderful? A man trying to out the flames. It's like he's in desperation. He knows what he's doing is not going to make any difference because that fire is so big, it's just going to consume everything. Isn't that fantastic? I'm very happy with that. So there you go, my friends. I hope you didn't mind me painting that this time. I know it's been something completely different, something that you're not used to seeing me paint. I just felt the need to do something like that, you know what I mean? Just to, you know, in memory of all those who have lost their lives, I suppose, to these forest fires because they destroy the planet, they really do. And I know it's only Mother Nature, you know, doing what Mother Nature does, but it's so sad when you see these kind of images. I think it should be shown. It should be shown to everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very happy with that. It's really, there's something about it, isn't there? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for another week of painting. Thank you and God bless.